What is going on, everybody? The Real Sharif M here, aka Mangana Steel, your favorite knife designer, back in the chair after a bit of a hiatus, man. If you guys don't know, I have been launching my own brand, and that has taken a bit out of me. But we have something new and special for the channel today. For the first time ever, a knife company has approached me to actually review some of their knives. And that company has been Oknife. And they sent me two very, very interesting knives. I decided to take a look at what I would consider a spectrum. They gave us some options as to which ones to take a look at, and I chose the Freeze for the budget range and the Freeze 4 Ti for the more premium range. Now, as you guys know, I do not chill. I'm very honest. If I do find something that I think is wrong or could be improved, I will say so. I will 100% say so. We are a no-shill channel here, and we definitely do not kowtow to anybody. So, let's dig into these. I already started cutting this guy open with my Kaimano. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Sharif. Just want to let you know the pre-order for the Kaimanos is finally live. That's right. You can finally pick yours up now for pre-order, all right? They're available at ms-knives.com. ms-knives.com. You can get the Purple Haze carbon fiber version or this natural micarta version right now. Okay, pre-order shouldn't take too long. Hopefully, as long as we sell it out, but I need your help. ms-knives.com. ms-knives.com. Make sure you get one today. Let's see. First one we're going to look at, this is an unboxing, just first impressions. I'll do a proper review coming up after this, after I've had some time to spend with the knives. But first one we're going to look at is the Freeze 4. It's got aluminum handles, 154 cm blade steel. Oh, but this is nice. Okay, this is a first for me. But within the pouch here, there's like a little secondary pouch, which I think is really cool. Oh, it was not what I was expecting. I was expecting some spares, if I'm 100% honest. But in there, they included a little challenge coin, which is pretty dope, actually. You can check it out here. So, Oknife Outdoor, and on the back of it, or Outdoor Elite, sorry, it says. And on the back, they have a bird perching on the Freeze. That is the knife that we're going to be looking at. So this is included. I had no idea. And this thing is a thick boy. Yeah, look at that. That is a thick coin. It has got some heft to it. Very cool. Very cool. Nice design, nice detailing. No complaints, actually. I'm a bit surprised by that. That is an unexpected little Easter egg inside of this packaging. Now, let's get to the knife. Okay. First look at it, you have these green aluminum scales that have like a nice texture to them. Not very slippery, which I like to see. You have a traditional, bent pocket clip. Not super big fan of the profile of this. We'll see how it's going to fit in the hand. But centering right off the bat is really good. And here's something that I really like and is a bit surprising. Look how far that blade tip goes towards the end here. Not so much that if I jam my finger in there, I can't feel the blade, but it's nice to get a maximized, blade to handle. Okay, action is nice. Oh, wow. Okay. This is surprisingly okay. So here, you guys know me. I wear a double XL glove, and it's always difficult for me to find knives on the smaller spectrum that really fit me well. But check this out. That actually hits all of my fingers perfectly. That is surprising. That is very surprising. I can feel the pocket clip. Usage will determine if that's going to be uncomfortable, but immediate kind of reaction is I feel it. It definitely sticks out into my hand, but it's not the worst, but it's definitely far from the best. Action takes a little bit of a shake, but is very snappy. Very snappy indeed, actually. Yeah, overall, first impressions is really nice. The reason I picked this is because I definitely don't go for sheep's footy blades. I do prefer a Warncliffe with a pokey, stabby tip, which this has. And this guy has this sort of like, I don't know, I don't want to call this DLC coating because I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it does have this nice black coating. I think the billboarding on it, like what I mean by that is I think that this logo may not need to be there. The freeze definitely doesn't need to be there. You know, most people don't really need to see that on their knife, if I'm honest with you. But I like the blade shape. Seems nice and useful. Is not overly thick here, as you can see. This is just looks to be a good overall nice utility design. Very, very nice and light. Very nice and light. This could be a really good kind of summer EDC or even like backup EDC, depending on what you wanted to use it for. I am going to put this guy through its paces because I have been very curious about Oknife blades. And yeah, first impressions also of the edge here definitely came beautifully sharpened from the factory. So yeah, lockup is good and solid. Okay, this is my first ever Oknife that I've ever handled, and I gotta say, they're making a good first impression upon me. I am not one to let things slide that I don't think are good, but this is making a very good first impression. So far, the Oknife Freeze, very nice, very nice. So the next one, and let's bring back out the trusty Kaimano, is the Freeze 4 tie. And the reason why I picked this guy is because a lot of designers and people who have been making knives for a long time have kind of like theorized and, kind of explored the idea of doing different blade shapes with the same handle. And usually that leads to having multiple models. But the Freeze 4 tie supposedly offers the ability to have all of that within one knife. So right out the bat, surprised with how light this guy is, actually. This is fairly light for what I was expecting. It is a frame lock, as you can see right here. Nice titanium pocket clip, which I love. A little unfortunate that they decided to do some branding on the pocket clip. I only allow custom makers to do stuff like that, like Bob Trezzola. I don't like mainstream brands to do that at all, actually. We got thumb studs and we got a flipper tab, as you can see here. So definitely more than one deployment method. They didn't go crazy with them, which is cool. Centering is perfect. So let's see. First flip. Okay. Strong. Interesting shape. Very interesting shape right from the get-go. So it's kind of like a drop point with a clip taken out of the very tip of it here. Yeah, look at that. Almost like a Sienkiewicz kind of inspired blade shape. You've got a finger choil here, which is very interesting, you know. I figure my rationale is they probably figured that that would be a good way to utilize this additional space added by this ability to change out the blade. But let's see, ergos, right from the outset, not bad. It's a 3 3/4 inch or 3 3/4 finger blade for me, or like 3.5. But there's nothing uncomfortable about it per se. The pocket clip, again, I can feel. I wonder if it's a little higher than I usually am used to. I'll have to measure that. But it's, again, I feel it, but it doesn't feel uncomfortable. The thumb ramp here has some jimping. I do feel if they wanted it to be more effective right here, they could have gone a little deeper with that. Right now, I feel it, but I don't feel it grabbing as much as it could. Choke up ergos feel good, definitely feel good. You know, I feel like I can bear down on the blade pretty heavily. You have this blade that you can swap directly, and then you can have an American Tonto. So very, very interesting concept overall. I've always thought about something like this and the best way to execute it, and they seem to have gone ahead and done that. What I'm curious about is, yeah, that's what I was a little worried about. It seems like you may need to, I'm going to have to investigate it, but you may need to disassemble the whole knife to swap the blade. And the reason I say that is because there are two screws, one here and one here, right? You know, and those I would think would be the primary screws to kind of deal with, you know. But there, if you open this, you can see that there's a third one lurking back there. And so this may require like a full disassembly, because as I rotate that blade around, there is no point where I see that you can get access to that screw. One thing is interesting. The lock bar is a little sensitive to pressure. You see right now, I'm putting a little bit of pressure on the lock bar, and this thing is not flipping. Yeah, and even with the thumb studs, it's Jesus Christ. Yeah, wow. Okay, let me see if I can do this. Oh, dude, the thumb studs are not. Oh my God. Fuck. Okay. Yes, the lighting changed because it's dramatic, but like, look at, like, I don't think that I can comfortably open that from the thumb studs. What's going on, people? Shree from the future here, and I wanted to give this freeze for a few more days to kind of figure out what's going on with the detent. And I've tried a number of things. I've lubricated it. I've loosened up the pivot, which did help. I mean, look at this thing is drop shutting so nicely now, and it is a little less sensitive to lock bar pressure than in my initial unboxing. But the thumb stud is still incredibly tough. I get it open once every few, like it's very rare. Yeah, even left-handed, it's still very difficult to open. And so I'm not exactly sure what's going on. I have talked to at least two other people who've said they've experienced the same thing with the Freeze 4. There we go. It's getting maybe a little bit better, but still the flipper tab is the most consistent way to go. What's going on, guys? Double Future Sharif here. Yeah, that's me in the future, or me editing future me, but I wanted to kind of show you. All of a sudden, this guy started to thumb stud open, which is really interesting. I'm not sure why. Oh, okay. Yeah, all of a sudden, it started to work a lot easier. And I don't have an explanation why. I mean, it's still difficult. It's still stiffer than it should be. And maybe you can see there, like, it's still kind of tearing up my thumb a bit. But I don't know. Maybe it's because I started putting my index finger up here on the pivot, and it just kind of changed my grip a little bit. But I am able to kind of consistently get this guy to open. It still does require more force than it should, but it is at least thumb stud opening consistently now, which it wasn't doing before. Overall, interesting knife. So we have a little bit of a mixed bag of first impressions. Again, maybe this thing just needs to break in. Maybe it needs a little bit of lube. We'll see. But yeah, those thumb studs are basically there for aesthetics at this stage. So hope you guys liked my first look at a factory supplied knife. I mean, really, these are some interesting offerings. If I had to choose one, that if you were going to go buy one right away this minute, I dig the Freeze. That Wharncliffe blade, comfortable ergos, really working for me. I think the Freeze 4, yeah, I mean, dude, look at this thing. This thing just really feels almost buttery right from the factory, especially for how light the blade is. But I think the Freeze 4 may need a little bit more work conceptually. Oh, there it goes. I opened it with the thumb stud for the first time. Let me see if I can do it twice in a row. Come on, you. Come on. Okay, no, that first time was... dang it. I really want to dig this knife. I do. I'll update you in the reviews. Hopefully we can get this to a point where it's... there it goes. Yeah, I think it just needs to be broken in. Yeah, I want to dig this. Because it's a new, fresh concept. And it's a new... well, not fresh concept, but a fresh execution. So I really want to dig this. But I think we got to break this guy in order for those thumb studs to really do their thing. Alrighty, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you guys in the next one.